Hello YouTube, hope everyone's keeping well out there. This is my pickups video for the months of January and February 2023, first of the year, and yeah, running a little bit late, but as I've alluded to a couple of times now, I've been super busy. But anyway, enough of that, let's get on with it. I'm going to start with a pickup that's not going to stay. I got this at a charity shop for £1.50, so I thought, you know, I'll keep my eyes open for other things apart from video games, just to sort of flip on and make a little bit of cash that I then put back into the collection. And it's a Micro Machines carrier, car holder carrier from 1991. Looks to be complete in there. There might be the odd bit missing, but it's in pretty damn good condition. Just needs a bit of a dust off. But for £1.50, I didn't think that was too bad. Let me know if any of you guys out there are interested, and I'll more than happy to send it on to you for the rat prats. And yeah, I won't put that on there because A, it's not staying, and B, it's mahoosive. There. Right. Next is another pickup, more for the games room. I'm not going to show it here because it's kind of installed already. And it was a 5.1 surround system, a Sony surround system with a built-in DVD player that I put into my HD TV that's connected to the Xbox via component, the Dreamcast via VGA, GameCube via HDMI, and yeah, soon to be my PlayStation 3, which I'll be bringing in here later date. So this room now, it makes you know, DVD watching, which I do with my daughter and my wife. We come up here and sometimes watch an old school children's program or a cartoon or one of my daughter's DVDs in here. And now the sound for that, and obviously with the games for those systems I just mentioned, is going to sound fantastic. I've got, obviously with 5.1, a centre, two fronts left and right, a subwoofer, and then at the back there, the rear screens over there. My surround sound. So yeah, really pleased with that. £15. It took a bit of a punt on it actually working, and it does, so I'm over the moon with that. Right, onto the games in chronological order of system. One Specky Game today, and it's one of those games that you know, happens every now and again. I'll look on eBay or I'll watch a video on someone else's collection on YouTube, and this thing came up. And I was like, oh my God, I remember you. And I remember picking it up and playing it and buying it for the cover alone. Now with this one, it's Fox Fights Back. With this one, it was just the inlay and the cassette. The case didn't come with it, but I've got numerous things of these that I picked up very, very cheap from a charity shop. So I've just slid it into one of those. It was not a problem. It was a decent price. It works. You know, I've had a few issues with some Specky games not working of late, but this one does. And yeah, I remember I had the same feeling playing this as I did when I played it after getting it home when I originally bought it all those years ago. And it kind of doesn't really convey what the actual game's like, that cover. The cover looks way, way better. But the game's all right. The controls are fantastic, really tight, but it's absolutely bonkers. You've got to sort of run left to right on all fours, dodging the baddies and things, and then you can press a button and raise up and shoot your machine gun. And I think the idea is to collect eggs in this, but yeah, it is from the get-go, like many 8-bit systems, including the micros, it's just bonkers, difficult, and yeah, requires more time. But yeah, not a bad game. I just had to get that one more for nostalgia more than anything else. Let's get that one away. There we go. Right. One PlayStation game, PlayStation 1 game. Saw this on, I think it was Radical Reggie's channel, and it looked quite interesting because it had a kind of vibe similar to Crazy Taxi, and it is Radical Bikers. And it looked good. Reggie quite liked it. I've played it, and I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. It's just way too difficult. The controls don't respond to your moves. The traffic from the beginning, even set to easy, is absolutely ridiculous. You can't avoid any of it. There's no kind of skill involved with the game, which means for me, you know, there's no fun to be had there. It's just, yeah, too insane, too crazy without, you know, using a pun. but it's going. So what I'm going to start doing as well in the videos is I'm getting these things in, I'm getting games in, but behind the scenes, if games aren't appealing to me, or you know they don't fit with, you know, I'm not going to play them, they don't fit with me as a gamer, then they're out the door. So for this one, I'm afraid it's Cheerio. So I'll put the Cheerio pile there. Didn't really like that one. Next, on to Xbox. A game from Software, one of my favourite developers, certainly of the current generations, with Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro and Elden Ring. Fantastic games. And it's a Togi 2. Now, I'm picking up mostly the exclusives for the original Xbox and some of the multi-plats. My preference is for the GameCube because that's the console I owned back in the day with that particular generation. But many of them were multi-plats but didn't come out for the GameCube. So most of those I'm probably going to pick up for the Xbox because 9 times out of 10 they run a little bit smoother, better frame rate, different or better aspect ratios, and yeah, better graphics, a bit more polish. And with the Xbox, I've got this set up via soft-modded Xbox on my HD TV with a component cable, and it looks magnificent. So still waiting to upgrade the cable for my PlayStation 2, look for some sort of upgrade converter, but for the time being I think I'm going to go more of the Xbox route than PlayStation 2 if it's a multi-plat. But yeah, really looking forward to playing that one. It's like a hack and slash, Japanese hack and slash. It might have some RPG light mechanics in there. Right, sticking with the Xbox, and here's a few I got from Dana. Hidden Chest Gaming. Don't know if you can see that there, but I'm sure everyone's familiar with Dana's channel and shop. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, there's been I ordered 3. 2 of them worked fine. I got Dark Watch, which again I was looking at for PlayStation 2, but he had this one for a very good price. So I nabbed this again, like I just said, because it tends to run better on the Xbox. In my own personal setup, the Xbox looks fantastic, but this looks great. It's got this kind of not cyberpunk, steampunky sort of vibe to it, where it's kind of got a crossover of horror and the Western feel. Looks really good, nicely gory. Not really massively into my first person shooters, but this one does look a little bit different, has a different sort of flavour to it, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. So yeah, glad I got this one, and I can scrub that off my PlayStation 2 list now. Now this is a classic for the Xbox, and it's Psychonauts. Don't really know too much about it, but no, it's, you know, highly regarded game, and Dana had this one, Danester had this one, so picked this one up. And now this one, I've had a bit of issue with this one. It's the Warriors. Now what I did is I originally had the PlayStation 2 version of this, and again, as for reasons mentioned previously, I got rid of that to get the Xbox version. Now got this, I've got a soft modded Xbox, I've had no issues with it, but for this game, for some reason, it just does not load. Absolutely bonkers. So I contacted Danester, and you know, he instantly just refunded my money back, and you know, I tried again. I was like, oh sorry, I don't know what's going on with it, and it did have a little mark on it, but I did take it to a local retro game shop. He gave it a clean, brought it back, the disc looked immaculate, and it just still wouldn't play. It was really, really weird. So I ordered another copy of the Warriors for Xbox, which came through, and I'm selling on. It's just sold actually on eBay, and that didn't work. So let me know if there's a known issue for this. I looked into it on Google and on the web, and yeah, couldn't find anything as such. But really bizarre, and I'm cracking nuts to give this one a go, especially on the Xbox. But I found out obviously that I think the game does work, it just doesn't work with my system, so I did end up repaying Danester the money for this game, because again, it's not his fault, it's just my system. So there's that one. Couple more Xbox. It's a little bit Xbox heavy, this pickups. One I've been after for a while that was always on my Xbox list. Gun Valkyrie. Looks really good. Really good action-packed sort of game, this mech game. And King of Fighters 2. This one was a little bit disappointing. I mean, excuse me, with the cable I've got there, it makes everything look really polished, but there's something quite jarring. It sort of brings out the clarity of the pixelated sprites in it. So you've got, I don't know, just a different kind of pixelated photorealistic background. It just really makes the characters jump out, and I just find it a little bit sluggish. It's definitely not one of the best King of Fighters games I've played, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe, you know, 7 out of 10 for me, something like that. Right, bit of Nintendo next. Just one 3DS game, one that I've been looking for a while for the right price, and one came up. It's Batman Arkham Blackgate. Looks really good. Love the Arkham games, nice dark gothic tone. I do like Batman. I'm not a massive superhero fan, but I kind of like the dark realism of the Batman universe, and yeah, looking forward to playing that one. It's not supposed to be as highly regarded as the console versions of the Arkham series, but it's supposed to be very good nevertheless, like your 7 out of 10, and you know, that's fine by me. On there. Right, yeah, sticking with Nintendo, I've got the second game of this. It's for the Wii U. And yeah, was always keeping an eye out for this. Waited quite a long time for it to come up at a right price, and they had a buy it now, and I just snapped it up, and it's PacMan and the Ghostly Adventures. You know, this gets, you know, quite a lot of praise from many of the videos that I've seen on YouTube, so I'll go and make my own mind up with it. But no, it does it really good. Nice 3D action. Just a platformer really, with a bit of action in there. Are you going to stay? Are you? Stay over there. Right, lots of Sony now, lots of PlayStation 4, but first the PlayStation 3. Now, I've got to say cheerio to another game, the standard edition of this. I've been looking for this. Right, it's loads of Sony now, from PlayStation 3 through to PlayStation 5. So, I had the original version of this on PlayStation 3, the standard edition, and I always like to look at this particular collector's edition, if you will. But I put the game down for some reason, and I think I included it in one of my episodes of games I've played and need to go back to, or definitely mentioned this game a few times anyway. But I picked up the remastered version on the PlayStation 4, and have recently, well, over the Christmas period, played through it and completed it, and it was Ni no Kuni on the PlayStation 4. Really, really good, loved it, and it just reinforced that need to get this collector's stroke Wizards edition for the game. It's yeah, a smaller box than I thought, but I don't know what kind of size I expected this thing to be, but yeah, so we've got that. It's a slipcase. It's in pretty damn good condition. It's complete. But you know, it's one of those where it almost looks a little bit empty inside, but you get the copy of the game with its manual in there. I've still got the plush of Drippy, which is your kind of main partner accomplice.
Whoa, whoa, what's all this? Curse lifted, is it? Tiny! I'm free!
In this game, really cool character, voiced by this Welsh accented actor, and yeah, really, really cool to have like a Welsh accented character in a game. It's really funny, quite quirky character. And this is the main thing I wanted it for. You get a digital version of this actually in game as your kind of wizard's handbook and your magician's guide, and yeah, to the lore and things. But they've actually printed an actual real edition of it in the flesh, as it were, and it's got all the spells through there. You can collect all these pages in game. Some are very well hidden, and some you naturally get during the quests on your way through there. But yeah, it's a beautifully made book. I don't really want to open it too much and sort of crack the spine, but it's got all the characters in there, all the enemies, all the familiars that you get in there that help you during the battles. Really nice book, and yeah, that was the thing I really wanted. It's beautifully made. You know, I might put some screenshots or a little video up with a closer view of this, but yeah, really pleased to get this. This was a kind of little niggle that has finally been scratched, and yeah, really pleased to get this. The price was decent, I thought. I think I paid 80 for it, which I didn't think was too bad. I'm happy with it, and that's the main thing. Right, let's move it over there before I damage the box. Right, put you down there. PlayStation 4. We will start with, oh, come here, you. Air. A game I've been looking out for a while now. Every now and again it comes up for a decent price, but most of the copies that I've seen recently on eBay are like 35, 40 odd quid. So yeah, I wasn't going to pay that. I just buy it in my time. This one come up, and I had to buy it now. And the guy did say I'm going to get it cleaned anyway. It has some surface scratches, thus the price, and I think it was only £12 I paid for it. Really happy with that. As long as it plays, I can look to get the scratches sorted out on a machine at some point in the future. But yeah, real nice art style, and they're similar to kind of Rhyme and Journey, very flat, graphical, cell shaded-y kind of look to it. And it's got like, it's kind of described as a bit of a walking simulator. But you know, every now and again I don't mind a game like that, and this, from the trailers I've seen of it and the gameplay, looks right up my street just for a nice sort of chilled game to play. And I think the wife will have a go at playing this one as well. So there's Air, Memories of Ode. It's not often I get jealous about many of the games on the Microsoft Xbox platform. You know, I'm not really too bothered about the Halos or the Gears of War. You know, they're good, and I have played them around with friends and played them to completion, many of them anyway, but you know, it's not enough to sort of pull me in that direction. I'm a kind of more of a Sony guy with their exclusives, but I was really envious of having this for a long time, but it's finally, over the last month or so, come out for the PlayStation 4, and it's Cuphead. Beautiful, one of the best art styles. I mean, why that hasn't been tapped into before, I don't know, but you know, it's a work of genius really, the way they've captured that 1920s 30s cartoon aesthetic with all the grain, the cracks and the pops from that sort of era, and you know, all the characters in the background have got that sort of like slightly bouncy animated feel to them, the trees in the background and everything. And yeah, I know it's supposed to be balls hard, and I have started playing it, and yeah, it is difficult, but what I really like in this game is when you die, it sort of shows you how far you, I think Mario used to do something like that, I can't remember, how far you got through that particular stage, so it encourages you to sort of persevere when you see, oh, actually I did get halfway then, so I'll keep going, and I quite like that aspect about it. It just keeps you coming back for more punishment. But I've only completed a couple of the stages in this, haven't got very far, but yeah, beautiful. And the music they use in this is of that era as well, so yeah, fantastic job that this company did on this. And yeah, brilliant game. Did it come with anything? I think it just come with some little bits there, some cards and things. So yeah, it's nice to actually get some additional things in a standard edition on these modern consoles. You don't usually get anything now, do you? Right, still wrap this one. It's on my list of games to play in the very near future, definitely this year. I've heard loads of people singing this one's praises, including Geordie Slasher, and it's Hades, and yeah, it looks really good. Isometric roguelike game, bit Souls-esque in terms of its kind of difficulty and the fact that you need to get back to your body, I think, or you lose your currency and things like you do in the Souls games. So yeah, looking forward to playing that. Right, these two, well, I got these two from Dainster on a previous purchase, again from Hidden Chest Gaming, description in the link below. Sorry, link in the description below. And yeah, we got Red Dead Redemption 2. You had that for a good price, and you said it was in lovely condition, which it is. So I've played this through yonks ago, but I still want to own the game. Really enjoyed it. Not as good as the first one, not quite, but I didn't really like the protagonist in this, Arthur. But man, by the end, I love the guy, but I still prefer, I forgot his name, John Marsden, isn't it? It's John Marsden from the first game, who obviously appears in this one. But yeah, really good game still. And this one, and I had issues with this game as well, and I felt really awful, like, Gangster, they've arrived, but this one's not working. Now, I got this one cleaned at the same time I got Warriors cleaned down a local retro video game shop, and it's Bendy and the Ink Machine. And this has got like a lovely horror vibe to it, and a real nice sort of inky art style to it. Really looking forward to playing this. It just didn't work. I would put it in the PlayStation 4, you could hear the disc spinning, and it just wasn't registering. It was really, really strange. I looked at it, there was the odd little mark there, but again, I thought, that's nothing bad. And yeah, Dainster, like I said, sent me the money straight back. I said, well, I'm gonna go and get it clean, which I did, brought it back, and I got a little bit excited because it did start to sort of load the progress bar and install, and then it got about 50% of the way through, and it just came up with this X and said, does not recognize this disc. So yeah, so really, really gutted about that. I'm going to take it down again for another clean along with a couple more discs and see how I get on. And Dane, so if it does work, mate, I will be sending you money back for this, but yeah, it's not looking good at the moment, sadly. Real shame that. Right, this is one I picked up for the wife at Christmas as a sort of stocking filler present, and it's Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, and thankfully this has got a free PlayStation 5 upgrade, so we're playing that on the PlayStation 5. It looks really, really nice. I mean, you know, it's only a Lego game, but you can still see the bump in fidelity and light. The lighting engine's fantastic, and it runs really, really smooth on the PlayStation 5 compared to previous PlayStation 4 Lego games that we've played. But yeah, I think we're just coming to the end of a New Hope in this. Sadly, it's got the awful recent movies on there, which, you know, is an episode in itself, I suppose. I'm not going to go into it, but kind of started off with a bit of hope with the first of the Disney Star Wars films. I know it was very similar and had the same sort of beats to A New Hope, and was a bit copy and paste, but it was like, right, let's see what they do with the next one, and it was shite. And the one after that was even worse. Dreadful. Disney's ruined it, and they seem to be ruining quite a lot of things at the moment. But anyway, enough of a rant. This seems to be very good. Really enjoying it. Maybe a bit more so than the wife, actually, because she is just finished, and that's why she wanted more Lego Hobbit. I picked this up for her quite a while ago, and she played this all over Christmas. She's nearly 100%ed it. Yeah, she just loves it. She's really into Tolkien at the moment. Reading all the books, listening to all the audio books. I picked her up the Hobbit extended editions on Blu-ray, and every night she's gone through all the films now, she's watching all the extras on that. Yeah, I didn't really mind the Hobbit films, but they weren't great. They weren't a patch on the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. While they just padded it out for money, I think, for 3 films. It didn't need it. It's only a novella, children's book, really, and yeah, one decent solid movie would have sufficed, I think. But anyway, enough of that. Right, lastly, 2 PlayStation 5 games. Now, my PlayStation 5 came with God of War, but this is the game that I really wanted to play. So I started playing God of War on Christmas Day and a couple of days around Christmas, and then I ordered this, the Demon's Souls remake by Bluepoint, who did the most recent remake of Shadow of the Colossus on the PlayStation 4. And yeah, really, really, really enjoyed playing this. It kind of lost some of its appeal because I've played this through twice, and it's one of those games that you play, die, repeat, play, die, repeat. So you get very familiar with the stage layout and the level layout and the enemy patterns and things like that. But so it didn't have that surprise element and that sense of progression like it did on those definitely the first playthrough for me. But yeah, really good game. Bluepoint did fantastic on this. They gave it a nice little bit of polish. They added some extra little bits, and but while still being really faithful to the lore and the majesty of the original Demon's Souls game. So it's that one. And lastly is one I've got for me and the wife to play for the PlayStation 5. It's more of an indie game, but I saw this on Geordie Slasher Gamer's pickup video, probably last pickups video, or the pickups before that. And this one, I did a bit of research into this one because I'm still getting my head around the PlayStation 5 and what's available. I think all the big titles are still sort of yet to come, really. And it's In Sound Mind, which just looks like a psychological kind of horror spiritual, suspenseful sort of game. You know, very colourful graphical style, and yeah, looks quite out there and wacky, and plays with your senses. You know, with the different sound effects and the visuals that are going on in there. Really looking forward to playing that one. So there you go, peeps. All done. Let me know if you played any of these games in the comments below, what your thoughts are. If you agree with me or disagree with me, whatever is absolutely fine. Put a comment in below, and let me know if you've had any issues with any soft modded Xbox games. You know, is it just the Warriors? Is it a few others? It just seems really weird how that's happening. But anyway, hope everyone's taking care out there. Stay safe, and I'll see you again.